Hey guys, thank you for your support for the last videos. Okay, today our topic of discussion is on ventilation and perfusion ratio. So, ventilation perfusion ratio, first we have to know the terms definition. What is ventilation, which ventilation they are meaning to, and what is perfusion, which perfusion. Okay, so ventilation here in whichever topic, in this topic I am mentioning every ventilation is actually your alveolar ventilation, not minute ventilation. Okay, first I want to reassure that it is alveolar ventilation, not minute ventilation. What is minute ventilation? Minute ventilation is nothing but your tidal volume into respiratory rate. What is alveolar ventilation? Just the tidal volume minus your dead space gases, dead space into your respiratory rate. So what is the average tidal volume of just consider if the tidal volume is 400 ml and dead space is 150 ml. Okay, 150 ml minus how much it will become? It will be 250 ml around that range into 12. Okay, so 250 into 12, so it's 25 into 2500, approximately 3 liters, like that actually is the your alveolar ventilation volume, 3000 ml. Okay, or else, so ventilation in this chapter I am meant only with alveolar ventilation, not minute ventilation. And next I am dealing perfusion. Perfusion is nothing but your blood flow through the segment of that alveoli. So we are actually describing the different West zones. West was the one who identified, who conducted a radio labeled study in a dog and find out the different zones of ventilation and perfusion in the lungs of that dog. So that perfusion part we will be discussing today. Okay, so how it describes, this is actually I make the lung segment, and then I am making, and then pulmonary artery blood flow is passing through the pulmonary artery into the pulmonary capillaries into the pulmonary veins. So this is pulmonary arteries and this is pulmonary veins. Okay, so this is the pulmonary capillaries. So your alveoli are situating here. So we have to know one important how the alveoli are anatomically distributed. So in the lungs, just consider this is the normal lung. Okay, the alveoli at the apex are actually larger, stiff and less compliant. So the alveoli which situated in the apex are actually very larger and they are actually stiff. Why it is stiff? Because your lung is suspended in the when the patient is in standing position, your lung is suspended and it is held in position by your pleura and your intrapleural pressure, and so that the traction of the bronchi, everything will be there, so that the alveoli will be distended to the maximum at the apex of the lung. And it is not what is the compliance is distensibility. So when you for example, just consider when a balloon is inflated full. Okay, when you try to put more air into it, it will not inflate much more. Okay, just make a inflation of little bit, it will not be able to distend more because the compliance of that alveoli is actually less. Suppose consider in the base, the alveoli is actually very small. Just consider the balloon is actually too small. Okay, so that when you push air into it, it will distend to the maximum. Okay, it will distend to the maximum how much space is there inside. So the alveoli are actually more compliant in the basal areas and the alveoli is small, whereas alveoli in the apex of the lungs are actually larger and they are actually less compliant. This part I want to mention. So now coming to the you have seen this alveolar different segments. Coming to the perfusion part. So because these alveoli are actually more compliant and distended over there, here the alveolar pressure is actually more. So the alveolar pressure in the alveoli at the apex is actually more compared to your pulmonary artery and pulmonary venous pressure. So that is I will mention here as pulmonary alveolar pressure, which is more than the pulmonary artery and more the pulmonary vein. Compared to this both, alveolar pressure is more. So the blood flow to the apex of the lung is depend on your alveolar pressure. If the alveolar pressure is more, it will cause, what will cause, it will cause actually direct compression over the pulmonary vasculature, so the blood flow will not be happen over there. So blood flow will not be there, so there will be absent blood flow. So ventilation by perfusion ratio will be how much, how will you calculate? Ventilation approximately just 3 liters, perfusion is nil, 0 means infinity will be there. Actually the in zone 1 usually does not exist in patients with positive pressure ventilation and patients who have massive blood loss. In this patient, the pulmonary artery pressure is very less compared to the alveolar pressure. So in that kind of situation, zone 1 will exist in that patient. Okay. Next zone is actually your zone 2. Zone 2 is actually midway between your zone 1 and zone 3. That is actually zone 2 is located actually where hilar region 10 centimeter above the hilar region is actually location of the zone 2 will be there. In zone 2 what happens, in alveoli will be actually of moderate size and your pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins, capillaries are of moderate dilatation will be there. So that here the arterial pressure is actually more compared to your alveolar pressure and is compared to your, and it is more compared to the pulmonary venous pressure. What will, just consider here the alveolus of a moderate size, and during systole, during cardiac contraction, the blood flow will be coming through the pulmonary artery, blood flow will be coming. So pulmonary blood flow artery, the alveolar pressure is actually of moderate and it is more than the your alveolar pulmonary artery pressure is more than the pulmonary alveolar pressure. So the because of this two gradient, the perfusion is happening over the alveoli and diffusion of gases will occur. But during diastole what will happen, the pulmonary artery pressure will fall down, so that alveolar pressure will be raised, so it will cause compression over the veins, so the blood flow through that segment will be reduced. So you will be in zone 2. What I want to mention is there will be intermittent blood flow through the pulmonary capillaries, and this due to the gradient between your, the blood flow is due to gradient between your pulmonary artery and pulmonary alveolar, that is occurring only during the systole period. During diastole there is absence of blood flow to that segment will be there. Okay, approximately consider ventilation is actually just consider 3 liters will be there, and your blood flow perfusion will be the cardiac output during the systole, that is 4 liters. So approximately coming around to be 0.8 is the ventilation perfusion ratio. The ratio is 0.8. Okay, compared to the zone 3, next come to zone 3. Zone 3, the vascular dilatation is more and the blood flow is actually more. Here what happens is where the alveoli are actually small and it is more compliant, I told before itself. So arterial pressure is more than the venous pressure compared to your alveolar pressure. Okay, so the blood flow will be more compared to your the blood flow, the perfusion is more compared to the your ventilation, so that the ventilation perfusion ratio in this segment will be actually your less than 0.8 will be there. Okay, because here the ventilation part is actually more, sorry, the perfusion part is more compared to that ventilation. Okay, so let's draw a chart of ventilation perfusion ratio. Just Q, just I mentioned the Q, that is perfusion, and here's the ventilation segment. Here I am mentioning the base of the lung, here I am mentioning the apex of the lung. So just consider, so where will be the blood flow will be, just if I am putting base, I am putting the blood flow will be more for the base of the lung compared to the apex because of the gravitation. So the blood flow will be more compared to the apex of the lung. So where the ventilation will be more in the apex of the lung. Sorry, ventilation, the gases which are coming is more in the apex of the lung. So the ventilation will be more in the apex of the lung. So with that we can able to identify in the base region, even though ventilation or perfusion is occurring, perfusion is actually maximum compared to the ventilation. Okay, when the same thing in apex, both, even though blood flow little bit is occurring, it is not like there will be complete absence of blood flow in zone 1. There will be little amount of blood flow can happen in the patients. So the ventilation and perfusion compared to that, ventilation is more in the apex of the lung compared to the perfusion in that zone 1. Okay, these things I want to discuss today. And another one is actually zone 4 is the another zone is there, which is newly discovered, that is nothing but your because of the interstitial pressure rise. Interstitial between the alveoli, there will be interstitial. Because of this interstitial pressure rise, the alveoli are surrounded by the extra alveolar vessels, blood vessels. This extra alveolar blood, because of this increased pressure, it causes compression of the extra alveolar blood vessels, which may cause decrease in the perfusion of the alveoli. Perfusion of alveoli, so that the basal segment is more atlectic, and atlectic segments will be observed, as well as there will be congested because of the perfusion is less. There will be congestion of blood flow over that segment will be there. Okay, will be observed in this also the pathogenesis. It will predispose to your pulmonary edema, non-cardiac pulmonary edema, everything. It will be predisposing with that. Okay, here what will the pressure segment? Your pulmonary artery is more than the your pulmonary interstitium, which is more than your alveolar pressure, which is more compared to your venous pressure. This is the pressure relation in the zone for the signal. Okay, so today we have discussed broadly how the alveolar segments in the different area, how the pressure related to that, and ventilation perfusion according to that area. Okay, so if you have any doubts regarding this topic, guys, just message me so that I can help you in which part you are not understood. I will discuss in detail in another video. Okay, thank you for your support, guys, once again, and keep supporting me and motivate me so that I will make more videos in the future. Thank you, guys.